Today we're going to take a really quick look at a couple of watches from Merkur. This is an excerpt from my upcoming Microbrand Showcase for April. Every month I take a look at the most interesting microbrand watches that are being released and bring them together in one video to give you a nice quick way to keep tabs on all the different great microbrand releases that are coming out. So let's take a look at what Merkur has coming out today and then be checking back for the full Microbrand Showcase video coming out next week. And first we're going to take a look at a watch from Merkur. Now Merkur is a Chinese-based microbrand / watch manufacturer. They sell on AliExpress, they also sell direct from their own website, but they're a pretty small operation and they put a lot of care into their watch design and into their build quality. Rather than focusing exclusively on kind of just ripping off other brands like Rolex and Seiko, they often dig into vintage watch designs and kind of mix and match things and come up with some really beautiful watches. Now we're going to be taking a look at a really cool hand-wound mechanical watch that they've got out now, but I also want to point you guys towards one of their mechanical chronograph watches. They did a really cool military-inspired watch. I reviewed the first version of this on my channel not too long ago, and right now on Kickstarter they have a new green dial version, as well as a version that features a sapphire crystal and a unidirectional rotating bezel. So if you didn't know that you could get a mechanical chronograph watch for under $300, definitely check out Merkur, because they really make some of the best ones out there. I'll leave a link to the Kickstarter down below for those of you who are interested. But what I really want to focus on today is the hand-wound mechanical watch that they sent in, dubbed the First Chinese Diver. Let's take a look at it. The Merkur First Diver is a great little vintage-inspired hand-wound Chinese watch that you can pick up for only $114. I really like that this watch is drawing its inspiration from vintage Chinese watches, rather than being like a direct ripoff of something from Rolex or Seiko like so many of the Chinese homage brands are doing these days. This is also a watch that comes in at under 40 millimeters, so it's going to wear well even on people who have slightly smaller wrists. However, keeping in mind that this is a budget watch, you are only getting a mineral crystal, which is going to be more prone to getting scratches. And the movement inside is a hand-wound Chinese mechanical movement. So long-term reliability on those and servicing options are probably going to be a little bit of a question mark here. Merkur has this movement listed as the M01X, and they claim that it's a movement that they developed themselves. It's a fairly basic hand-wound movement that does not feature hacking, but in the limited time that I've had with it, it feels pretty robust and does allow for the watch to be made very slim. So far, this one has been running at about plus 20 seconds per day for me. Now, Merkur seems to be implying that they drew the design inspiration of this watch from the first Chinese dive watch. And they have this watch in two versions. They have like a civilian version, which is this one, and then they put a bezel on one that they call the military version. This civilian one is kind of an interesting matchup because without the bezel and with only 50 meters of water resistance and this kind of slim, small case, it's not something you would typically call a dress watch, but the dial design and the handset definitely look like something you would get on a dive watch. So it's kind of hard to figure out exactly what this watch is trying to be. Functionally, I feel like it would make a great field watch, a really kind of unique looking casual everyday watch. It's compact, slim, comfortable on the wrist, and easy to read. And while the specs are basically what you would expect from a watch in this price range, the finishing I think really punches above this kind of $114 price point. The handset is nicely polished with very cleanly cut edges. The case makes good use of radial brushing going across kind of the top of the broad lugs with a high polished shine going along the side of the case with very sharp definition between the polished and brushed areas of the watch. The watch also features a very vintage looking, highly domed mineral crystal, which makes the edges of the dial almost look like they're curved. In fact, it looks so much like it is curved that it just might be. I'm not 100% sure here. It reminds me a lot of the crystal you would get on an Orient Bambino. It's also paired up with a pretty decent leather strap, which is similar to some high-end Epson leather straps that I've seen before. It's well built, has a nice finish to it, and a good taper, and it really matches the character of the watch well. Overall, this is just a really fun, kind of quirky release from Merkur. It is very proudly a Chinese-based and built watch, both with the design inspiration and with all of the markings on the dial and the case back being in Chinese. So I think it'd be a great choice for anyone looking to add kind of an interesting piece to their collection. or for anyone who's just looking for a unique everyday watch that's comfortable and well built. Just remember, this is a hand wind only watch, not an automatic, so you are going to have to be winding it pretty much on a daily basis. Okay, thanks for checking out this video. Again, this is kind of a preview of the Microbrand Showcase video that I do each month. In the full video, we'll also be looking at watches from Axios, Octon, and RZE. Some really cool releases coming out, so make sure you subscribe if you're not already so you can see those when they drop, probably next week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.